Look at her turn. I think she's still turning. Hopefully it won't. Oh, look at that. Woo! So cool. Oh, I love this game. Welcome everybody back to the channel with another DCS video. Today we're here to test out some helicopters. If you've never tried a helicopter in DCS, we're gonna test out 2 that are free, that are mods, and 3 that are payware, or available in game as full professional models. So all 5 are going to be Western helicopters. We're here in Tinian today, in the island in Tinian in the Marianas map. Yeah, I've got a whole bunch of helicopters here on the ramp. The ones on the right, a bunch of Russian helicopters, which they're just there for show right now. And then we have a whole bunch of the Western helicopters. Here we have the AH-6 Little Bird, which is one of the first mod that we're gonna try out. And then we have, let me go to another view here. The second mod we're gonna try is the UH-60L Black Hawk. Amazing mod. You can see even the droop there of the rotor blades. So we're gonna try that, and then we are going to move on to the UH-1 Huey, and after that we're gonna take a look at the Gazelle right here, and finally we're gonna look at the AH-64 Apache, the latest addition to the DCS World helicopters by Eagle Dynamics. Unfortunately, the mighty AH-1 Cobra is not flyable, and it's one of my favorite helicopters, but not in the game yet. So it's just there for looks right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off, and there is a Arleigh Burke that's sailing out in the out the coast, and we're gonna go try to land on it, which is one of the toughest things to do in helicopters. Well, the 2 toughest things is, well, the first is the hover, and then the next hardest thing is the approach. I would say the approach to landing. And if you're trying to land on something that's moving and it's small, that's even harder. So we're going to try to land in the back of a Arleigh Burke destroyer as it's moving at 21 knots. So it's going to be quite the challenge, and we're going to try to see which is the most difficult helicopter to fly. So we're going to start off from this guy, and we'll see how she goes. So let's increase on the collective, compensate. Let's see. So the hover is pretty good here. I would say after the Black Hawk, because I have flown these helicopters, I can tell you right away. After the Black Hawk, this is probably the easiest helicopter to fly right now. It is not a professional flight model, so it's got its limitations probably because it's a mod, but it's still not. It's not super easy, right? Like, you can see me bobbling all over the place, and I'm not a freaking amazing helicopter pilot, but you can see I'm able to hover it. The one thing you will notice on 2 of my least favorite helicopters, it's actually the Apache and the Huey, because there's a wobble to it that you will see here shortly, whereas these are very stable. So here we can see it's quite twitchy, right? Like, And the key with helicopter flying is you gotta really adjust your controls to make sure that they're not overly sensitive. Because if you talk to any helicopter pilot, they'll tell you it's just all about the tiniest controls. So anyways, we can show that we're able to hover here. Let's do a yaw turn. Let's gain some speed. And let's do a loop around the taxiway here. Actually, I don't want to make this video too long. So we'll head on straight to the ship. But on the way, I guess, I'll show you some maneuvering. So here, we're going to try to gain some speed. And in this model, the weird thing is, you know, it has a tendency to really yaw left. So if you see there, if I let go of the stick, like I'm actually applying quite a bit of, I don't know why it tends to go right. Like I actually have to apply rudder. That's probably a limitation of the model, and I'm not even sure if it's supposed to work fully with, you know, this latest DCS. But like if I have, okay, right now I'm trying to not put any rudder input, so I'll try to gain some speed, and I should have a bit more stability. Let's test the top speed and head towards, you get the Tarawa there on the right, and then we should have, yeah, there you go, the Erleberg coming over there. So let's go. Do a little, let's try some slight maneuvering without getting ourselves killed. So pretty fast, you can see. The little bird, you know, it's supposed to be one of the most agile and nimble helicopters out there. It's used by special forces. I don't know if you've seen the movie Black Hawk Down. They used the little bird. They load it up on the sides with 4 special forces guys, and they do rapid insertions. And it does have the 2 cannons and some rockets. Anyways, let's slow down here. It does have some really weird tendency to want to yaw left, so there is some wonky stuff going on. So let's try to slow down without getting ourselves killed. And get behind this ship, which is, as I said, going at 21 knots. And put that right rudder, because I don't know why it tends to wanna yaw left, and you can see my hand is getting tired from having to hold the rudder, which is a bit annoying. But let's get behind the ship and land it, and raise our nose, lower the collective. Increase collective, raise the nose. Okay, try to get behind this ship before it turns. Try to land before it turns. So we're matched with speed right now at 21 knots. I'm gonna inch forward a bit, raise the collective just a tad, push the collective slightly forward, and get ready to pull back on the stick, and boom. There we go. Easy peasy, right? Almost center there with the circle, and that was right before the ship decided to turn. So I would say here, let's try to take off one more time, and I'll do this with all the helicopters. I don't want to take too much time, but let's try to hover behind it. and this will show you the ability to hover on a moving target, which is probably the most difficult thing you can do in a helicopter. And you'll notice, based on which helicopter, it's going to be very hard to do. So this is actually very easy. This is extremely easy. And I would say this is the easiest helicopter out of the 5 by far. Because there's no way the other ones you can do this as easily as I'm doing right now. And here's our second landing. Alright, so move on. Let's move on. Choose slot. Let's go with the next mod, which is the UH-1. Alright. Love this one. I can't believe this is a mod. I mean, just absolutely can't believe this is a mod. Looks amazing on the outside. Sounds incredible. And looks also amazing on the inside. I'm not gonna mess around with the ground roll. It's kind of on my key bindings, but essentially, if you unlock the wheel and you put a bit of collective and then you push forward, you are able to, let's see, not too bad. So maybe I will try the taxi just a little bit. One of the coolest things about helicopters that have wheels is that you can do this. I'll try not to hit the Super Stallion or the other Black Hawk, but yeah, all you do is you don't even need brakes. Rotor forward with the rotor disc forward, and then use your rudder to turn it around. Let's see how this looks. You can see the rotor disc there, pushed forward. So I'm pushing gently down on the stick and the rudder right now. Look at that beauty. Absolutely beautiful. Okay, and now we're just going to increase the collective, and we are in the air. And before I forget, I'm going to lock the tail wheel. Actually, it's okay. Anyways, you can see this one is extremely stable. It's a very extremely stable helicopter to fly, and it's a little harder to maneuver sometimes because you gotta judge, like, it's not as nimble, but I would say maybe even easier than the Little Bird, right? Maybe even easier. See, we were able to slow down pretty easily. If you want to speed up, just increase the collective, quick pitch forward, and off we go. So, very forgiving helicopter. Also because it's got like a ton of computer-aided assist, stabilization systems. So let's go there to try to catch the Ally Burke before she makes the turn. She's in a loop there. I'm gonna increase collective to see how fast this thing can make it. Okay. Collective down. Let's get the collective really down and make sure that we Watch your rate of descent. I love the blade slap. Let's lose some altitude here. Collective, more collective. Let's get on the center line. She's close to the turn actually. Okay, slow down. Okay. Alright, now we're in position for our approach. And hopefully we'll try to catch it before she decides to turn. It's a little hard to see, so I'm gonna try to yaw a little bit. And wow, we are really close to the turn. So I gotta not take too much time here. Come on. Inch forward. Alright, I think we made it. How's that look? Not too bad, not too bad at all. You can see how big she is. You know, taking up quite a bit of space. If you look at the rotors, you know, like it's hard to judge sometimes just how close you are. And but yeah, let's try to do the same thing we did with the little bird. We'll take off gently in the backwards. All right, let's try to do a little hover. Let's go back a bit more. Yeah, extremely stable. I would say almost hard to tell really if this is easier than the AJ6, the little bird, but I almost want to say it's easier because literally I'm almost hands off, and the model is like I don't have to put almost any rudder input. Right now I'm not putting a lot of rudder input at all, and she's just hovering very, very easily. And here's our second landing. Perfect. Alright, that's the Black Hawk. Moving on. I'm trying to move in order of difficulty, and I am going to say the Gazelle is the next easiest, or next hardest. Because the Apache and the Huey are, in my opinion, the most difficult helicopters I've ever freaking flown in any simulator. So here we are in the Gazelle. I want to say this is like an iconic helicopter, like one of my favorite looking helicopters. I think I had toys of this helicopter back when I was a kid. Just looks so sleek. She's super fast, super light, and you know, great model, great sounds and everything. Look at it shake. Right. And I think this one does have some weapons. I guess we could try shooting a few on the way, so if I remember how to arm them. Is it this guy? Sorry, I can barely see. Is it? I can't quite tell. Maybe, no, it's up here. M, there you go. That's how you arm that guy. You put this guy on here, and I think one of these controls the machine guns, and the other one is the, yep, there you go. Alright, yeah, we'll shoot some stuff on the way. I mean, it's a military simulator, right? So I gotta shoot at something. All right, let's try to get up and get ready for that. Ooh, ooh. What did I say? That this was easier? All right. So one thing to note about this helicopter is this. Yes, it can be easier than the other ones on one condition. You have to chill out. Um, you have to chill out, and you have to like here. Let me show you what I mean. Let's get a bit low here and try to do a hover. And you know, it takes hours to get used to like the controls and everything and the finickiness of each of these helicopters. But you see, I'm having a bit more trouble than the other ones to hover, but still not impossible. Like very easy, very precise, and it doesn't wobble. And you'll know what I mean here in a second. So you see how stable that is? But like if I want to go forward, you know, if you're gentle with it, she is absolutely the most fun helicopter in this game to fly, and it's definitely my favorite. But if you do things like um, if you do things like erratically, you start losing control on this helicopter pretty fast. Pretty fast. Right. And I would switch to rockets, but you know, one of the things you with helicopters, unlike airplanes, you really can't take your hands off for very long. But let's try. There you go. I managed to switch. Let's go and kill this guy here. Yeah, I think it's dead. Alright, anyways, that's that. Oh, let's not fuck this up. Alright. Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, if you... The roll rate on this thing is ridiculous. Ridiculous how... Look at that. You have to be extremely careful. Now let's get this side out of the way. And show the... One of the coolest thing about this aircraft is just how fast it is. And the other weird thing about it starts to act like an airplane real quick. So in many other helicopters, you punch the power and you gain the altitude. With this, no. With this, you have to actually pitch up a little bit. Your pitch is extremely important. But look how much fun that is and how crazy fast we're going. I'm not even at full collective. By the way, great looking map as well. Look at that. Yeah, sure. Anyways, I'm gonna try to come behind here. And see. And I did mention, what's the two things I mentioned about the most difficult thing in the helicopter? The hover. And what was the other one? The approach. Right? And by approach I mean like knowing when to slow down, how to slow down, what it takes to slow down, right? So here, let's see if I can manage lower collective. Oh, she's turning. Okay, well, I'll give it a chance to practice hovering near it. See, she's tilted. I mean, I love it how she tilts when she's turning like that. Makes it a bit harder to land on her though. I'll still try to hover right behind and see. So you have to be extremely gentle. This is not easy, guys. Extremely, like, you can't make sudden moves. Sometimes it's actually really frustrating. And I'll tell you, compared to flying a jet, oh, so much more difficult. So much respect for helicopter pilots. It's like so much more difficult. Alright. There we go. Landed. Look at her turn. I think she's still turning. Hopefully it won't. Oh, look at that. Woo! So cool. Oh, I love this game. Beautiful model for the early bird too, by the way. Look at that. Yeah. Still turning. Alright. Let's try to take off and not kill ourselves. Ooh! Ooh! Wow. Talk about killing ourselves. That was crazy. Anyways, as we did with the other ones, we're gonna do our hover test. It's, yeah, not extremely hard, but as I said, it's all about not getting carried away. If you're predictable, do small movements, see, you, not hard at all. You know, that right there, for example, I really screwed up. I went backwards and shit. But, anyways, there's our second landing. Get the point. Let's try to take off again without killing ourselves. Alright, that's a better. But yeah, there's the Gazelle. Freaking amazing. Alright, I guess time for our last two. Let's go for the UH-1 Huey. Make sure this video doesn't go crazy long. Should I keep that up? Yeah, I'll probably keep this up. Anyways, here's the beautiful Huey in Vietnam paint. It's got miniguns and a couple rockets. Amazing model, actually, this one. And here's where things starts getting really tough. So actually, this is, I would say, the hardest helicopter. I should have left this to last, but then, anyways, the Apache is second last. But this is, I would say, the hardest helicopter to fly in any sim that I've ever played. And the reason for that is there's a wobble, which you will see in a second. Okay, hang on. And not only that, you see that it's just crazy. Like I'm barely moving this stick and it still wobbles. It's crazy. Anyways, you have to like try to hover. Let's just slow down a bit. Very hard to hover. Very hard to hover. Especially if you wanna, you know, be precise about it. The other thing is the approach is extremely hard on this helicopter because of vortex ring. If you guys don't know what that is basically the helicopter like downwash, like basically it gets sucked into its own downwash from its rotor and it basically loses lift. I guess I can demonstrate real quick, but Um, yeah, let's try to pick up some speed and head towards the thing. You know, once it's moving, it's not that horrible. It's just, right? You see that wobble? Ugh. It's like a handful. That's the Sukhoi that we just destroyed. Like, yeah, once you're in level, flight easy, right? But say you wanna slow down. Yeah. You see, yeah, you see how it's bitching at me? Yeah. I had to go almost full collective there, and if you do that like too crazily, like you won't have any lift, and you'll just crash. So that's what I mean. Anyways, let's get moving here. Go onto the ship. Wow, it's way out there. Yeah, wow. Talk about wobble. Name of the game is wobble. Remember the Gazelle, how smooth it was? Like, yeah, you can see it's not horrible here, but like it gets a bit better with the speed. Wow, this thing went way out there. Don't tell me it stopped moving. Yeah, you can see it's a bit slower because I'm also taking quite a bit to catch up to this thing. Yeah, I don't know. The physics on this helicopter, I don't even comprehend. Like, it's just all sorts of shit happening, all sorts of wobbling, and yeah, most definitely insanely hard to fly this helicopter. You gotta be very careful with your transitions. And not to mention, again, 21 knots. You can see my own inputs there. Oh wow. Okay, let's try to back up and try to stabilize around. Oh shit. Okay, hang on. Fuck, this thing is gonna give me like a freaking headache. I mean, I can plop it down. You know, kind of military style like that. And but I love how it just goes back and forth and everything. Like, insane helicopter, insane. Most challenging helicopter in DCS in any game to fly. This is not like War Thunder. This is not Arma 3. This is not Battlefield. Like, you wanna experience how to flying a real helicopter feels like? Yeah, get a UH-1 Huey in DCS. All right, let's try to hover again and take a deep breath. Okay, let's go. Back, 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 back. Jesus. It's like, oh, what? I'm trying to go back. Go back. Back. Okay. What? Okay. Okay. Let's try not to move. Let's try not to, like, panic. Let's just keep it there. There you go. Just don't do anything. You know, with helicopters, all you have to do is do nothing. I'm not moving anything right now. It's just, the thing is almost flying itself. Anyways, there's our second landing. It's just a handful, guys. I'm telling you, handful. Like, this thing like just stresses me out. You know what I mean? Just difficult. Difficulty like max. I mean, yeah, I mean, plopping it down, not difficult. Like, if you just plop it down. There you go, there's my other landing. But, let's say, here, let's try to be a bit more aggressive. Let's go back. Right? You want to be more aggressive? It starts, like, bitching at you. Right? It's like, what are you doing? Okay, let's try a bit more aggressive approach. I mean, not that this would happen. Okay, see, I fucked up there a little bit. Anyways, you guys get the point. Good thing this thing is, anyways. Can't be super pretty. Alright, let's go and try to finish this video with the Apache, which in my opinion is the second hardest helicopter to fly because, again, wobble. Okay, here we go. I'll load.
Radar, 9 o'clock. Searching.
Yeah. Last time, like, I haven't flown this in a while, so I don't know why it tells me to, like, select the weapon there. Rocket. Whatever. We're not gonna try to shoot here. Let's try to just fly it. Let's, wobble, right? Freaking wobble. Anyways, do a quick hover here just to show you what it feels like. So, I don't know. Like, yeah, I'm hovering. Whoop-de-doo. The other thing is really hard to see in this thing, like in the back seat. Yeah, you see this wobble? And I think it's like, I tried to change my controls. I thought, you know, maybe it's my controls and whatnot, and then,
Rotor RPM low.
but yeah, I don't know. And you know, as much as I love the Apache, it doesn't make it fun for me to fly. The Huey is fun because it's just raw, and I don't know, it's just extremely challenging and raw. Like, if you can fly a Huey, man, you can fly anything. But for fun, I would say, I mean, the Black Hawk is just a little boring. It's too slow. It's like a freaking semi-truck. And well, the little bird is just a mod. There's something wrong with it a little bit, I think. So really, Gazelle wins for me as far as fun. Oh man, that thing is a dream to fly. The other problem I have with the Apache is, like, it's so dark with this damn thing.
Rotor RPM high.
See, and like, I can't see, like, where's the ship? Like, how high am I? Like, what's happening? Oh wow, yeah, I'm high. Like, you know what I mean? Like, let's turn around. And like even turning is like weird. Visibility is bad. It's the what do you call it? This visor, this head mounted eyesight, whatever you call it. It's dark. Freaking can't see anything. Wobbles like crazy. And not to mention it's gonna be tough to land here because this thing has got the tail wheel at the very back and it barely fits on this boat. So you really gotta like fly diagonal. And what do you call it? Yeah, see, as soon as I put the nose up, I can't see shit. Like what? Where am I? Like I gotta lower myself a bit to just be able to see. Okay, well that's a little too low. No, I'm too slow. So I mean, difficulty wise, yes. It's like up there with the Huey, I would say. Like you see how much more difficult I find it to even approach this thing. And what I'm trying to do is come in and then I'm gonna yaw. Yaw. Alright. Forward. So you can see it's not terribly, well, I shouldn't speak. Let me just land before I, oh my god. Oh. Okay. Are we good? Are we good? Did we land? Yes! The wheel made it. And look at that thing. I guess it's like deceiving because you can't see anything. Like I thought I was like 2 inches from this thing, but I'm actually like at the very edge. You know, so sorry, I'm just eye candy. This thing about to turn? Probably. Anyways, like you see, like I thought I was pretty close, but I'm like actually miles away. Right, let's try to take off again. Like, I mean, I would say this is probably the hardest thing to land. You saw, like with the Huey, I landed it 3 times pretty easily. I don't know if this one has to do with the visibility. I mean, the visibility really doesn't help. Maybe I should just fly from the front seat. But that's cheating. Alright, let's try to come again. Lower our altitude a bit. See, I can barely see where I'm going. Like the wobble is pretty shit. Come on, forward. 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 Please go forward. Again, this thing is doing 21 knots, so to go forward, basically we need to go like 23 knots. Yeah, like as far as landing on the ship, I would say that Apache is the most difficult. Right? I mean, I landed again. I mean, look at that. I'm a bit closer. Let's see. Yeah, I'm a little bit better, but almost. You know what I mean? Let me try to land straight. Let me try to land straight. Maybe I don't need. So basically, try to hover over this path for a second. So yeah, we're hovering. Good. Wow, how close is that? Oh, wow. See, I felt like I was like so close. But I'm not. Well, I'm pretty close. That's so cool. Hey, look at that. Yeah, no, it just feels so close, right? Like, I don't know, it's just a depth perception thing. Let's try to do an approach and landing as our final landing. Let's see, hopefully we won't crash. Let's try an approach. Alright, give us some distance and forward. Because, I mean, the hard part is, you know, the slowing down. Oh, and I was going to turn too. Should we try it? Alright. Level 10. Land an Apache in DCS on a ship that's going 21 knots and is churning like crazy. Right. Shit. Look at this thing. Yeah. Talk about level 10 challenge. Oh. I mean, it does go straight for a second here before it turns again. So I guess that's my chance. Wow, that was ugly. But sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. Anyways, guys, that's the Apache. That's the Arleigh Burke, and that's our 5th aircraft. You know, close call between the Apache and the UH-1 as the toughest helicopter you could see there. But I feel the Apache is more difficult just because of visibility issues, and the wobble is even worse, I think. But, I would say they're almost about the same difficulty, maybe. And the Gazelle, as much as people say, I think it's perceived to be, you know, more difficult. It's actually easier in my opinion, as long as you don't, you know, it's very easy to control if you're not very twitchy about it. And obviously the mods are a bit easier too. So hopefully that helped you give a sense. I would say I crown still the Huey as the most difficult helicopter to fly in any sim and in DCS. The Apache very close behind it in this one. 3rd would be the Gazelle. 4th would be the probably the Black Hawk, and the Little Bird probably tied for 4th, I would say. There we go. That's my, you know, top 5, I guess, most difficult helicopters to fly. Definitely more challenging than anything else. Like, it's much more difficult than the mods on Microsoft Flight Simulator, so we'll see how Microsoft Flight Simulator will model helicopters, and I'm very interested to compare it with DCS. And it's obviously, this game is not comparable to anything like Armor, Battlefield, or any of those, right? So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed, you learned something, and yeah, go pick yourself up in a helicopter, either a free one, or if you like it, try one of these professional ones that are available in DCS. Hope you all enjoyed, and hopefully it wasn't too long of a video, and we shall see you next time. Thanks for watching. Please always, as always, if you can like and subscribe, comment, it does help me with the channel, so I appreciate it.